Hi, today I'd like to talk about the Tec Jupiter Amateur Radio Transceiver. This is a wonderful rig, no longer in production, but I've really enjoyed using it, and I thought perhaps I could share a few thoughts on it for those who just might be starting out with this rig. First of all, we have the basics here: power on and off, phones jack, key jack, microphone jack, AN, that's automatic notch reduction, noise reduction, bandwidth, passband tuning, and a multi-knob. Over here we have the mode selector, that's like CW, AM, FM, single side band. The band, if we're going to go in split mode, if we need to go to reverse, like if we're running FM on 10 meters, A VFO equals B VFO, the equalizer there, or if we want to switch between A VFO and B VFO. Over here we have receive incremental tune and transmit incremental tune, and then the value of each one. Here we have a lock button that locks the tuning knob. Down here we have buttons that will do one of two things depending on whether the alternate button is depressed or not. And down here we have a few more things, like we want to take a frequency from our VFO into memory, create a memory for it, or we want to bring a memory out into VFO. That affects our tuning, the step button, and also a spot button for CW, so we can match the frequency of the station that we want to work. So one of the keys on this rig is to pay close attention to the A VFO field and the B VFO field. Notice up here we have receive and transmit. Now if I was to depress the split button, notice how we have only receive up here and transmit down there. So it's a subtle thing, but there it is. Also, you might notice I have the transmit incremental tune button depressed here. So I'll take that off and notice that's gone. Or if I want to put RIT in, I can do that also. Now notice what happens here along the annunciator panel on the top here. Like if I put attenuation in, I get an indicator that attenuation's there. If I want to sweep, it'll take a snapshot of all the activity in the band. I don't have an antenna hooked up right now, otherwise you'd see activity on the band. So it just takes it's not real time, but it does take a snapshot of it. If we're running Vox, we'll see that indicated here. And if I hit tune, which is a really neat feature, it puts out a 20-watt carrier, continual carrier. So it's great for running your auto tuner and getting it all set up to go. Let's look at what happens when we hit mode. We're going to be looking here. We have upper sideband, lower sideband, CW, FM, and AM. And that's the way it does. You just cycle right through it. Likewise, if we hit the band switch, notice we'll go down in frequency. So here we are on 20 meters. Now we're on 30, 40, 80, 160, and then we go cycle back up to 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20. So that's how that works. One little trick, if you don't know it and you're used to this rig, you can go up in frequency if you hit the alternate button followed by the band button. Now again, we mentioned in split mode, notice here we have receive and transmit on that. Now if we transmit, we're going to go clear down to the 80 meter band or 75 meter band. So good to keep your eye on that. Let's equalize the VFOs here. A equals B, and there we are. We'll tune a little bit, and then we can switch between the two if we want. So you can see how that works. Now, one of the keys to learning how to run this rig, it's a point of frustration until you understand it, is the tuning increments. Notice if I tune here, I'm going by kilohertz, but I'm still at this stuck with this 0.9. To rectify that, you hit the step button, and now you select which one of these increments you want. And notice that times out. So let's go to hundreds. Now I can zero that out, see, to 7.172. And let's say I want to tune in kilohertz. Now I'm tuning exactly on the kilohertz. They might have gone a little overboard on this. I mean, look at this. I can go clear down, and it'd take me the rest of my life to tune through all the frequencies if I was going at that increment. So, but it'll give you as fine a resolution as you want, the finest I've ever seen. So let's zero that out, and I'm going to go back to, say, 1 kilohertz tuning. There we go. Okay, the multi-knob here affects whatever is pushed here. So, for example, if I put AF, that's our audio frequency, it's our level of AF. RF, likewise. So notice that it says RF now. If I hit AF, it'll say AF. If I hit microphone, it's on microphone level, power level, and so forth. One that does not work with this multi-button is the passband tuning. That is like an on-off button. Notice if I push it, it's instantiated, and I see it right there. This is a dedicated knob, PBT, for that one function. And so we can go below our operating frequency or above operating frequency to tweak the audio to where it sounds best on our ears. So that's kind of an idiosyncrasy of that one. Also, if we hit alternate and then hit these buttons, it'll do what it says below it. Now watch, for example, we have medium AGC. If I hit alternate and hit that, now we've got fast, now we've got slow. So you can see how that works. Likewise, if I want to affect my CW key speed, I hit alternate, and now I can adjust the key speed. So right there we have, 30 words a minute and so on and so forth. Let's see here, squelch. If I wanted to run squelch, I don't know why I would, but if I wanted to, I could run squelch on HF. Let's see, what else do we have here? I don't remember what that is. Monitor level. If I want to use monitor, you have headphones on and hear my audio. Now to engage monitor, and I'll know if it's engaged because I'll see this one highlighted, hit alternate and monitor, and now I know it's in. But the actual monitor level, I hit that button there and that affects the monitor level. So sometimes that's nice to hear your voice when you're operating on headphones. Okay, so that's the basics of the rig. Again, that idiosyncrasy of the tuning to get the step that you want is found down here. And just remember to pay close attention to what you have up here to make sure you're not in split mode and you have the right mode and the right, just the way you like it. I really like the bandwidth on this. For voice, I usually use about 2400. Notice on CW, I can go clear down to 300. And by the way, this is a tremendous CW rig. It's got real silent QSK. You'll like it. So, hope you have a good day.